Good morning, Anne.
Good morning, James.
And good morning, everybody. Hopefully, as always, you are all having a wonderful Sunday, a wonderful weekend, or a wonderful week, whenever it is that you are listening. So here we are again, Anne, Sunday morning.
Yes.
Ready to go?
I am, yes.
Brilliant. Where would you like to start this morning?
About a programme that I've been watching, or we've been watching,
Right.
both been watching it, called Patience.
Yes, Patience. Brilliant. Okay, well, Patience is a programme that was on Channel 4. It's a drama series, and I think you should still be able to get it on their streaming service, their catch-up service for Channel 4 online. And it's about a young lady called Patience Evans who works for York City Police in their criminal records department, and she becomes an integral part of the detective team. I will not say much more, other than what's really fascinating and interesting is that Patience is autistic. And as a young adult working in the police, you get to watch this unfold, and it's absolutely fascinating. So, like I said, I hope and trust that you will be able to still find it on the catch-up service, and if you do, you will thoroughly enjoy watching it. It's fascinating and brilliant.
It is fascinating. It's also very addictive.
Yes.
It's one of those that you sit down and watch about
Yes,
three.
it's extremely compelling, isn't it? Intense, compelling,
Yes.
quirky, different. It's a brilliant drama series.
And it's just finished, and when it finished, it's very rare that when something finished that you're thinking, oh, when's the next one coming on, and you're eager for it.
Yes.
And that's how I feel with this.
Yes.
And it's maybe because it's a topic that I haven't thought about much.
Okay.
Which may sound silly to people because obviously it's very much in the news, the autism in children. But
Yes.
It's made me, what this programme has made me do by seeing it in adulthood, which I honestly hadn't thought about
Right.
in adulthood. It's made me think about feelings, really, more into feelings, watching her and seeing how she deals with things and how other people deal with her.
Yes.
And really the patience has a double meaning, doesn't it? Because you have to learn patience.
Absolutely, yes.
So it's quite funny in parts as well, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, there really is a wit to it.
Yeah, it's not serious. So it gives me that opportunity to think in life. Sometimes we get too serious about subjects as well, don't we?
We do, yes.
Because she is fascinating, and it's fascinating. The
Yes,
brain.
absolutely. So, Patience as a character loves to solve puzzles.
Yes.
And loves to work things out, which is why she's such an asset to the police force and why she ends up working with the detectives.
Yes.
Because her mind works in a particular way, outside of the box, so to speak, and is able to see things that other people either don't see or before other people see them, and see correlations that other people aren't able to connect. And that's fascinating and inspiring as well. It really is inspiring.
It's a quickness of mind, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
That's what I found fascinating, is how quick a mind can be.
Yes.
And maybe her mind, she's had time growing up to concentrate more than we concentrate. Do we see things too quickly and make without thinking? Whereas growing up, because we do see her growing up, don't we?
Yes.
And she's given puzzles then.
Yes.
And she sits quietly doing puzzles, and sorting them out. So is that the way her mind works, and mine works differently maybe?
Well, obviously it does. Obviously it does.
Yeah, so it's feelings, isn't it? She feels deeply but doesn't always know how to show it.
Very rarely knows how to show it. I find that really interesting. I observe in the world there are many, many people, maybe some of you listening this morning, who feel extremely alone, even in the presence and in the company of others. It's not that we don't have family and friends and loved ones. It can be a lonely place being on earth, and the human experience can be at times extremely lonely. And as well as that, and definitely I observed with Patience, the character in the drama,
Yes.
is a hypersensitivity. So that can manifest itself to textures of clothing, to flavours of food, to sounds, to light, but also to the presence of other people, to their mannerisms, to their idiosyncrasies, to their intentions, to their energy field in and of itself, really. And I'm sure lots of you listening can relate to that. So there is this feeling of being alone and hypersensitive. Now, I am aware that in the world there are many people, and particularly children, who are given different types of labels to do with their diverse neurological perspectives and the way people think, and autism's one of them. For this morning, I don't think it's really the main purpose of our conversation. I feel, for this morning at least anyway, is to recognise that everybody is unique and special.
Yes.
And that every single child is an individual and is extremely special. But there are lots of people who are hypersensitive and think differently, and that rather than trying to label it and contain it and box it, in a sense, in terms of put it in a box, is that we allow people to flourish, and we give people time and space to grow, and that we can do that for ourselves and we can do that for other people. Rather than limitations, we look at expectations to rise up. Now, with expectations come responsibility, and people often have a sensing of pressure with that as well, which can then induce anxiety and problems with that. But it can also, and is inevitable if we're going to take potential and for that potential to grow in this world. Patience Evans, the character in the drama series, is not limiting herself. She's putting herself out there. So she starts to form relationships. She starts to form romantic relationships. She starts to work with the investigating team. She starts to make new friends. She starts to put herself in situations that she wouldn't normally do. All of that is going to cause her anxiety, and it does. All of that is going to cause her doubt, and it does. All of that is going to tap into her hypersensitivity, and it does. But without it, she won't grow, and she does grow. And what an asset, what an inspiration, what a powerful example of a young autistic woman, of a young, interesting, intelligent, insightful, sensitive, kind individual in this world. If we don't step outside of our comfort zone, if we don't put ourselves in situations that challenge us, absolutely, that's the word, Anne. Challenge us, thank you. If we're not prepared to put ourselves out there, we won't grow. And I sincerely, with every fibre of my being, recognise that every child has potential, and it will manifest itself in this world in different ways. And every child has something important to say. Every child has something fundamentally important to contribute. For people that think differently, and in a sense everybody thinks differently, we can all work together. It's the kindness, it's the patience. I know I've spoken for a while, Anne, as always, so I'll pass it back to you in a moment. But the programme's called Patience, and the character's called Patience. And the irony, I suppose, really, is that
everybody needed patience.
You need patience to deal with patience in a genuine way. You'll understand if you watch it. And maybe that's what we need with each other. Patience, understanding, kindness, to give each individual the opportunity to grow. But as far as I'm concerned, I think it's so important that we don't lessen expectations. Just because somebody thinks differently doesn't mean they're not capable of having a full life. Having relationships.
Very important.
Working, contributing, growing, shining, bringing joy into this world, helping goodness thrive in this world. There is nothing limiting about that. There's everything that's enabling. So, and that's true for anybody, given the right support, given the right level of expectation, which is often not going into it, which is just getting out of the way and allowing individuals to be individuals, and we support each other in that. I hope and trust that makes sense. I've spoken again, as always, for a while. So over to you, Anne.
No, I think the other part of it, as you're talking, because obviously it brings up other thoughts about the programme itself as watching, but the other main thing is watching her develop a sense of humour.
Yes.
Because she doesn't find humour easy, does she, in the beginning?
No.
Because obviously, if you, me thinking about it, is if you're in a situation such as herself or somebody, and other situations as well, if people don't understand you, you think, and say things, you think they're laughing at you.
Yeah.
So we don't often know the difference, do we? Whether somebody's laughing at us,
yes,
or with us.
Absolutely, yes.
So,
and if you're so sensitive,
yeah,
you can easily misinterpret that. And
most,
I'm sure that
most
often,
times.
yes, most times misinterpret that.
Yeah, because super sensitive people will do that. You know, they will always put the blame on themselves. If we're super sensitive, we tend to blame ourselves and think we've done something wrong, so somebody is laughing at us, not laughing with us. And quite often people are laughing with us.
Yeah.
And I found that because of working in hospitals.
Yes.
I went into hospital at 16. You have to develop a sick, and I mean it is a sick sense of humour, very, very quickly.
A coping mechanism.
Yeah, because you
a
couldn't
release.
cope.
We've spoken before, haven't we,
Yes.
in previous podcasts about the power of humour.
Oh, it's wonderful.
And the power of laughter, how it can release feelings, it can release energy. And often in awkward moments and in stressful moments and in traumatic moments, we use humour as that release.
Yes, we do.
And I think it's fundamentally important. I know it's fundamentally important. And to develop a healthy sense of humour, it is important for a well-rounded, well-adjusted human being.
Yes. And if we didn't do that, we would go under, because we have to have humour in this world.
Well, if you don't laugh,
I
think often we'd cry.
Yes.
If we don't laugh at the world, we'd cry.
Yeah.
And I think looking at the world as it is at the moment, yes, that's never more true. Never more true.
Yeah. And I think we really do need to look around at the moment, and sometimes even looking within our own politics and what's happening around in this world. Sometimes we look and you just think, gosh, I've got to laugh, because these are intelligent people. You're listening to people and you just think, common sense has gone.
True.
I think that's another thing that we have to have, is common sense. So even when we're talking about, patients or ourselves, is we have to look at it with common sense. What would we do? How would we feel? We don't often do that, do we?
No.
Put ourselves in the situation and see how we would feel. Because we're too quick to think we can solve something ourselves.
Yes.
Whereas if we think, what would I be like if I was in that situation? To be honest, in lots of cases, a mess myself. But
that's interesting.
We can give advice without. Quite often, we can give advice from our knowing.
Yes.
Of what we know, but we don't know how somebody feels.
The empathy.
Yes.
To be able to see and feel from another person's point of view.
Yes.
It's really valuable, that, isn't it? And the ability to have an imagination that can transport us into potential situations where we can relate.
Yes.
So that we may not have literally been in that situation before, but we can relate to certain feelings because we felt those feelings in other situations.
Yes.
So if we see somebody else, we can see how they feel and we can feel how they feel. We may not have been through the literal situation, but we can empathise with the particular feelings that they're feeling.
Yes.
And that gives us that sense of unity, that gives us that commonality, that gives us that bond that we are sharing an experience as individuals, but we have this collective shared experience. That's what's common.
Yes.
To us all. That's what's common sense, I suppose, to think on our feet.
And we can laugh, can't we? We can laugh at many situations on this earth. We can see something and we can laugh about it. But sometimes we have to be careful even when we're laughing, because we haven't even then put ourselves in the same situation as the person. I think that what you said, I'm saying this because what you actually said about empathy is very, very important. And I think empathy's getting lost. if it isn't already lost within this world at the moment.
Well, I was listening to something on the radio this morning, before we sat down, and they were discussing social media, and particularly with children, the use of social media, which predominantly is on smartphones and tablets, but predominantly smartphones, and how it's shortening attention span. And now with the rise of AI, and AI becoming more and more integrated into social media and in life in general, they were talking about how social media has already started to rewire people's brains. Literally, I'm talking about the literal rewiring of the brain, how people's patterns of thought, how the neurons are communicating with each other, are literally changing. And people's attention span, children's attention span particularly, is becoming shorter and shorter and shorter. And people's ability to imagine, people's ability to concentrate, people's ability to communicate has really shortened, which means their human world has become much smaller, because you need those to develop relationships and to be effective in the world. And one of the things that was said, which I thought was so penetrating, it was that social media has robbed children of their attention, and now AI is going to rob children of their relationships, because they're going to grow up, and they are growing up in a world where people's friends are going to be AI chatbots, where people's romantic relationships are going to be AI based. More and more people are starting to explore this. So it's taking away the human experience and replacing it with an artificial one. And it's happening in front of us every single day. And it's deeply concerning. Now, maybe some of the ways that people think link to the drama series, Patience, but there are many children and many adults, and maybe some of you this morning, many of you this morning listening, who think differently. And that is an asset in this world, and is going to be able to see things that are happening in this world, maybe slightly before other people do. And you're going to have a hypersensitivity that gives you a sixth sense almost, an intuition, an insight into what is happening and what is wonderful, but also what is deeply concerning, and what we need to act upon and act upon together and support each other with. And I'm sure everybody's recognizing that is highly sensitive and very much aware that the human experience is being encroached upon. And if we don't do something about it, children are not safe. And the minds and hearts of children are not safe. Now, for many reasons in this world, already children aren't safe. But this is something that, if it takes hold, is much more destructive, to the point of which it will fundamentally usurp humanity. It is that alarming. So the people that were discussing this on the radio aren't some tin pot person who's just throwing their 2 pence worth in, maybe a little bit like you and I this morning now, maybe. They are experts in the fields of social media and artificial intelligence and neuroscience in terms of how the brain actually works, and they are sharing their findings, saying, we are deeply concerned about this. This is something that should be addressed.
Yes.
And also, we don't really know how to address it. So it's concerning on 2 fronts from their perspective. 1, it's happening, and 2, they're not quite sure how to deal with and approach their concerns. So we need to face what's really challenging here. And
it's frightening.
It is frightening, and until we admit that, how can we overcome that?
We can't until we admit it.
It is frightening, it is concerning, and it is happening. And no amount of wishing it away is going to change it. Actions will change it.
Yes.
So, as said before, the human capacity is unlimited.
Yes.
So to tap into that and unlock that can change this world. Imagination, the stories, the words, the pictures, the feelings that can come from the innate human being, the divine essence that is the centre of the human being, will push back this artificial energy and start to take back command. So that's what's inspiring. That's the call to action.
Yes, definitely. But we're doing some workshops, aren't we? Starting some new workshops this in the next few weeks.
Yes.
And they're going to be...
Saturday the 22nd of March is the first one.
And I suppose in a way my baby is, I'm very, very interested, unbelievably interested in energy and electricity and, the way the brain works and the way the body feels.
Right, okay.
That, it fascinates me, and that is going to be part of the workshops. But what I don't understand when I'm listening to you talk now and saying what's happening, and the way these scientists and people talk, in a very, very simple way, the way I see it is, if you have a plug, and nowadays when you have plugs on, on an appliance, and people don't put plugs together these days, they're already on, aren't they? Well, in my day, you had to put your own plugs on.
Yeah.
So if you don't wire that plug correctly, there's two things that will happen, depending which way you wire it, with the blue, the red, or where you're going to be putting them in the green. So if you wire it in one way, it will be perfect.
Right.
If you wire it in another way, it just won't work, because it's not wired up properly.
Yeah.
It's not going to work at all. The other way is, if you wire it up the other way and get the other wire in the wrong place, you'll get electric shock and you could be dead.
Yeah.
That's the way the world is, I see, at the moment, with AI and things.
Okay.
Which way is it going to go?
Yeah.
Because it can go any one of those three ways.
Yes. I agree.
So
in the starkest of terms, yes.
Yes. And that's what people have to start understanding. It's not, it's all to do with energy. It's not, and that they're not recognising. We were all wired up. Whether it's your appliance, whether it's us.
Yeah.
I'm only talking about the way I see it. I'm not saying I'm right, but that's how I see this world. We're all part of that one energy. And it's how we're wired into it. So some people are wired into it a little bit different. But AI can't be pure.
We need people to come together. It's a repeated message.
Yes, definitely.
In intention. And hopefully, as always, it can start this morning. And for people to be together in essence and in feeling, and send that togetherness out. And for people to put that feeling of care, compassion, and strength, real strength, into action, and those actions will start to have real world consequences. So the human imagination, human intelligence is where it can expand. So rather than an artificial intelligence write a story, a human writes a story.
Yes. Which is magic.
Rather than artificial intelligence paints a picture, a human paints a picture. And humans use the mediums that are available as long as they are the one that is the author. The moment it transitions over to being something else, it's no longer human and no longer connected to the origin inside, the source that's inside of everybody. So that's where people can push back, and in community. So where people come together, when two or more come together, that energy is present. So when people come together to be together, that collective energy is harnessed and then magnified into the world. The energy that is against that tries to isolate people and take them apart and place people in boxes, both literally and metaphorically. It's separating people, it's isolating people, it's labelling people, it's focusing on identity, it's taking everybody down to individual denominations, it's stopping people unify as a cohesive collective humanity, as an individual member of a united humanity, a family of humanity, where no two people are exactly the same, where labels are useful but only useful to a very small extent. Feelings are what's important.
And as you said before, empathy.
Yes.
We need all of those, so everything comes together, and we empathise with each other. Then we start to get an understanding of how important it is for us to be together.
Yes.
And watching children on our events, we have a corner, don't we, where that's is made specially for children with pencils, with
Yes,
papers.
so we, as I'm sure you've heard before when
Yeah.
listening, and if this is the first time, we hold community events for everybody, family
Yes.
events, but for all ages, open to all the community. And the next
Yes.
one's at Easter
Yes, that's right.
on Saturday the 28th of March
Yes.
at Sale West Community Centre, an Easter party, and you are all absolutely more than welcome. It starts at 2:00, Sale West Community Centre,
Yes.
and you're right, Anne. The whole hall is decorated and done up magical.
Yes.
And it's going to be Easter themed.
Yes.
But you're right, there is a specific corner area where children can unlock their imagination and write and draw and colour and be amongst that
Yes.
vivid life force of
Yes.
imagination, and it's so wonderful.
And watching the children, and they are of all ages, aren't they? Even tiny ones.
Yes.
With paper and pencils
Yeah.
and colouring. And then showing the pictures to everybody what they've done.
Yeah.
But that's how life should be as a child, isn't it?
Yes.
Less people, people saying, you show it to somebody and somebody goes, that's wonderful. You haven't got a clue what it is, but it's wonderful.
Yes.
And it's colourful. So I think the other thing we need in life is colour.
Absolutely. Yes. Colour. Well, colour is in life. It's all around us all of the time.
Yeah.
But an awareness of it and bringing it into our awareness and appreciating it and magnifying it, I agree. And colour of personality as well. Colour of
yes.
humour. Colour of experience. Yeah, absolutely. That's worth celebrating, isn't it? Every moment of every day. Even just to look out, well, I was going to say, look out of the window. It's often a grey sky, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is, yeah.
But to look out of the window and let's just imagine now with our wonderful imaginations, that beautiful blue sky. And
We've
then
had sunshine this week, haven't we?
we
And
have
it's
had
been
some
beautiful
sunshine.
when
You're
we've had
right.
the sunshine.
Yeah. Every day there's something to see, to feel,
Yes.
to smell, to touch. That reminds us how amazing and wonderful and magical life is.
You were talking about parrots, weren't you, yesterday?
Yes, there are parrots in and around Manchester. I've seen them in Altrincham, in Hale. I've seen them in Sale.
Wild parrots I'm talking about.
In the trees, yeah. And I've spoken to a few people about it, and they've said yes, there are parrots flying about. I'm not sure which species, but yeah, parrots flying about Manchester.
That's mad. I mean, I've never seen one, but I think it's mad.
I don't know
to
much
even
about
think
it.
about
I can 100% say I've seen it 3 times now, where there are 2-3 parrots flying around. And I mean parrots, I've seen them quite close up. I don't know
Quite funny if they all start talking.
species. And I've spoken to a couple of people. They said, yes, there are communities of parrots. Wild
Some must
parrots.
have escaped. So surely some must have escaped at some time from a house, or a pregnant one's escaped.
Yeah, I think it goes back a few decades.
Does it?
Yeah,
Right.
I do. And I think their numbers are growing. That's me speculating. I don't know that for certain. But I 100% have seen them 3 times now. In and around Altrincham and in and around Sale. Definitely. 100%.
I find that interesting. That's another thing I find interesting, because even there's certain animals which are increasing. Even animals that they thought were going extinct. So, like we went to see the Bengal tigers, didn't we, when we were in India?
We did.
And what a wonderful experience that was, to actually see them close up.
Yeah, I mean, that was a real wow. Like a real wow. To watch a Bengal tiger, slinkily approach.
Yes.
It really is beyond words and descriptions, to be honest with you. A real wow.
You can't describe it when it looks you in the eyes.
Yeah.
And no fear.
Yeah.
The
I mean, we were on a
amazing
jeep
thing is-
high up.
yeah.
Let's just be clear. We're not stood in front
Yeah.
of a tiger.
But it could have jumped. There was no fear.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
And the men didn't have any guns or anything, did they?
No, not at all.
Because I don't think they'd ever been that close before, as they were. So the magic in life, that's what I'm saying, is there's so much magic in life that we can find.
Yeah.
And that's what we've got to start looking at a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, we do. We need to acknowledge what is deeply concerning.
Yes.
And then reply with an enthusiasm and a real zeal for life.
Yes.
As a direct and deliberate response to what we want to change in this world. And I feel that that's at the heart of this, is not to look the other way. Children need us to step up in this
They do,
world.
yes.
And I am prepared to step up.
Yes.
And I am stepping up, you're stepping up, and I
Yes.
have no doubt all of you listening this morning, even in small ways that we can all do every single day, we will, wherever we can, do the best we can to make a positive impact on this world and in this world for every single child. But the response to it is that enthusiasm, that zeal, that appreciation, that togetherness of humanity. Let's bring it back and let's shine like 1,000 suns together, and let's change the world by being the change.
Community.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Well,
Thank you
there
for listening.
we go. So if you've missed it and you want us to just quickly repeat it, the programme was Patience, and it was on Channel 4, and I hope and trust that you will still be able to catch it on their streaming service, their catch-up service, Channel 4. And I hope you enjoy it as much as we did and find it as fascinating as we did. Okay, well, lots covered this morning.
We have.
Get my words out. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend, everybody, and we look forward to speaking with you and being with you again next Sunday morning. Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye, bye-bye.